Okay, where to start? Where to start here today? The top story on Infowars.com probably needs to have a breaking added to the front of it and needs to be red linked because I walked in this morning when I saw him working on this and I said, I hadn't thought about this and I haven't seen anybody else report this. And so we are breaking this right now. And the reason this is important, the story Kit Daniels just posted 10 minutes ago to Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, the reason this is important is this is the type of thing that will kill Obamacare. As people find out it's going to cost them an extra $7,800 a year, the Congressional Budget Office is now saying in the first year as it begins to be implemented starting next week. Extra $7,000 a year. And it's set to go up even more because the insurance companies wrote it to make you pay for it. I mean, if you've got a controlled market and you've got to buy something and the Supreme Court has ruled it's a tax, Katie, bar the door. And, of course, as you know, that's just one of the little nightmare facets of it. And they're not letting people see what their insurance shopping choices are in the limited choices they give you. Kind of like at a prison mess hall, you've got choice between rotten horse meat and, you know, rotten beef or something, or stinking beans or stinking rice. I mean, you've got, I guess, a couple choices. You can drink rotten milk or you can drink stale orange juice. I don't know. But they won't let you know until the day it's implemented. And that's because the Obamacare bill is thousands of pages long, tens of thousands in addendums and riders, as you know. Last time I heard, the final bill was over 10,000 pages. In fact, guys, look that up, see if my memory serves. The point is it was a big bill, written by special interest. NAFTA was 30-something thousand pages. And it's written so all the big insiders are exempt, like Congress and the big companies and the rest of them. It's designed so small and medium corporations have to implement it as a handicap to them. Obamacare regulations are 8 times longer than the Bible. That's CNS News. And then how many pages is it actually? It's 10,516 pages, and that's in small print. So my memory served. We just do a little test here on the air to make sure I'm being accurate, because I'm so neurotic about being accurate that I test my memory, which sometimes is wrong. And, of course, it was wrong there. It was 10,000 plus pages. I just said 10,000. So people are now learning about the full horror, and they don't want you to know how it's going to be implemented fully until it hits you. Kind of like if I was trying to run somebody over, I wouldn't want them to know I was trying to run them over until it was too late. So they want to have you dead politically, and it's already hit you like a freight train so that you can't politically get involved to stop its implementation. They want to just go ahead and run you over immediately and get that over with as quickly as possible. Kind of like the last 5 versions of the immigration bill under Bush and Obama. Senator Sessions, God bless him, always ends up leaking it, and they say he violates Senate rules. It's secret bills. Secret bills. And whenever you get the bill, it legalizes felons and actually gives them money. That's in the news now again in the 5th or 6th. The 5th or it's the 6th version, because Obama's had 2 versions. So Bush had 4, Obama's had 2. Excuse me. It's 6 versions. The 6th version is the exact same one. The first one Bush tried to get passed 8 years ago. Was it 9 years ago? Time is just flying. So it is the exact same thing. Just like Romneycare, written by the insurance companies and banks, then becomes Obamacare. It's the same people running the puppet politicians. It's just with Obama, his cult-like followers will do anything under the cult belief that he really cares about them, while he absolutely rips them off and cons them and pimps them out. They love it. They love it. I see so many. I'm even seeing more Obama stickers in Austin than I used to. In fact, I saw twice yesterday, Obama 2012, their new stickers, like, hey, we won, we're winners. We the bosses, to quote the movie Hop. And Hillary 2016. And imagine, they really think Hillary cares about them. They really think Obama cares about them. And they really think they're winning right now. They really think that. And they're going to love this too. The TSA has been found, on average, to be the most criminal the most abusive, the most larcenous. I mean, I see articles of TSA agents being arrested every day for pedophilia, every day for rape, every day for child porn, every day for robbing people in the parking lot, every day for stealing prescription drugs out of people's bags. Every day they're being arrested. Every single day. They are, in fact, the last week they're having stings all over the country. Busting just scores of TSA agents, robbing people, selling loot. TSA agents have testified to Congress that many TSA agents steal up to $1 million a year. They run fencing operations. They run hijacking operations of loot now that they're taking over port authorities, the Viper teams. You know, my dad worked on the railroad a couple years when I was a baby. At night, and then went to dental school during the day, old-fashioned, hard-working American. And I remember he was retelling the story to my son and my daughters. We were on a fishing trip this weekend about how he would not steal televisions and stuff out of the trains at the big switchyard in Dallas. And he got the job because his it was nepotism. He was hardworking because his grandfather had been the head of a particularly important stretch of a railroad company. I won't even get into it. It was a small railroad, but he'd been the head of that. We've been the mayor, too, of that town, not Dallas, other town. That's all a side issue. Point is, he got that plum job. It was like a union job, and they wanted to kill him. They said, they carried guns, too. They said, listen, well, and most of them were like former Vietnam Special Forces people. This was in like 1976, 1977. They said, we're basically going to kill you if you don't take some of this loot. It's like the Serpico story. He just said, look, I'm not going to, I'm going to be a professional. I don't want to do this. And I know you've got sanctions from the top of what you're allowed to rob, because they'd have what they call documents coming in. Billions in cash would come in, too, to the Federal Reserve right there from all over the region. So they didn't hit that. They were told what they could rob. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this story. Actually, I don't even know how I just digressed off into this. The point is, he quit that job early and was an exterminator for the last year of dental school because he could make good money doing that in South Dallas. My dad was an exterminator in South Dallas the last year of dental school. But he had to quit that job because he went to higher-ups people. They just said, this is the way it is. But I mean, that's how America runs. And that was back in the 1970s. So that'll give you an idea about the TSA and the Viper teams. They're just robbing stuff everywhere with pleasure. Now, let's move along to the story up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com that's breaking by Kit Daniels. That is in the Obamacare legislation and is now being implemented through the youth corps and the rest of it. You have highly untrained people, minimum wage coming, enrolling you and getting your Social Security numbers, driver's license, and data, saying they're from the federal government, basically bossing you into it. Just like with the census, it's getting you used to having the government agent come to your house. As Tony Montana calls them chivanos. I don't know what that means, but he says it. I think it means tattletale. But here it is, door-to-door identity theft likely under Obamacare. No, it isn't likely. It's like saying a bear goes potty in the woods. Navigators, as they're called, we just changed the subheadline, as the TSA, a new wave of bureaucrats, as with the TSA, a new wave of bureaucrats will abuse their power, this time by stealing your identities. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. As with the TSA, a new wave of bureaucrats will abuse their power, this time by stealing your identities. And they are going to go out and demand all your data at the door. The average American will probably defecate all over themselves when someone says they're from the government. They will bow down. I predict they'll start doing proctology exams like the Texas State Police are robbing people's wallets. I'm not kidding, by the way. The state police now, as an act of domination, are doing proctology exams all over the highways. In fact, show them video, black, white, they don't care what color you are. 2 women, 1 glove, 4 orifices. They're hitting you hard. The head of the DPS says they're going forward. It's raping you is their mission. Now let's continue. Door-to-door identity theft, likely under Obama. They're now coming to your door, similar to how the Transportation Security Administration attracts pedophiles with jobs providing easy access to children. Obamacare will attract identity thieves with jobs allowing them to go door to door to preach the virtues of Obamacare, extracting private information.
The Alex Jones channel is the official page of the InfoWar. But don't miss what's happening on our other channels. The Info Warrior, with the week's best videos. Prison Planet Live, where Paul Joseph Watson gives his expert analysis. And keep up with the rest of the InfoWars crew on our other pages. All of our videos are available to repost for educational purposes. See the sidebar of the Alex Jones channel for the subscription links. And remember, you can always find our videos in the highest quality by becoming a member of PrisonPlanet.tv.
Again, this article just broke. Kit Daniels is adding more examples to it. There's so many. Door-to-door identity theft likely under Obamacare. As with TSA, a new wave of bureaucrats will abuse their power, this time by stealing your identities. And there are countless examples of postal workers doing it, of police doing it. But now this is part of the national security force that Obama's talking about, of citizen spies, of FEMA workers coming to your door and then demanding your info to enroll you and bully you. Just like they have federal grants from Florida to Texas, from Georgia to New York, from Kansas to Oregon. I've seen articles where the feds pay to have checkpoints where the cops pull you over and go, we're going to take a flesh sample. Because you can just easily, without cutting somebody, take a swab of their cheek tissue. That's some of the biggest and easiest to pull cells. And then if the intimidation works, they then take blood. And the cops are paid double time. They're paid double their average hourly, calculated wage under the federal grants, and most people grovel in fear and do it. A nation of free people. The American flag is not a man bent over grabbing his ankles, folks. I mean, that is not what makes a free people. I know you've been taught that. I know people think that rolling over to King George, rolling over to Prince John, rolling over to every tyrant is what makes a free society. It is not the case. You were not born into a nation where the police talk to you like a drill sergeant and you're a new private cadet. This is not how free societies work. This is how tyrannies work, where the criminals want to secure their takeover. And so under Obamacare, the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, is implementing a navigator program which provides millions of dollars to nonprofit groups. This is going to be Acorn and similar type groups nationwide to hire navigators who will advise Americans on their Obamacare health options based on sensitive information provided. And remember what happened with the Veritas Project. They would walk into Acorn after Acorn office going, here's my underage whore. I need to run game with more underage children. And they're like, we're ready to work with you. Just like, I mean, this is hardcore, folks. They're taking over. It's their country. Illegal aliens are released. Gangbangers with guns are released as long as they're working for the big Chicago mob that's taken over America. Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, Chicago Business School are running the gangs. They're running the narcotics. It's come out in the news. Wells Fargo, Wachovia, $378 billion in 2 years of heroin and cocaine money. It's brought in. It's given to your kids, who then rob your purse, rob the neighbors to go pay the gangbanger the money that's passed up the line directly into the big bank's cash box. And they are taking us down hardcore, and they're having victory. And they're jacking the water with fluoride. They're jacking the food. They're jacking the air with chemtrails. The cancer rates, the neurological disorders are off the chart. They're just murdering everybody, and it's working really good. So go watch some football this Sunday, baby. You're going to love it. You people like tyranny. You like losing your jobs. You like losing your family. You like your kids strung out on hard drugs. The government's going to make sure your daughter mainlines smack this weekend for the first time. And 6 months from now, she's going to be running tricks on the street to make sure that money goes right back into the bank. And you love it because you're a big, tough man. You're going to go watch football this weekend while your daughter's whoring down the street to give money to the CIA CIA, because you're land of the free. You're home of the brave. You're USA, 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 USA. Yeah! The people that think they're free. People that... But I'll tell you, who are the enemies of these criminals? People that know tyranny's taken over, know the Federal Reserve's private, know it's a drug dealing operation, know we're run by a bunch of foreign powers, know we've been captured and occupied, know what's happening. We're armed with information. We're armed with the Second Amendment. We're moving forward to warn people about how much trouble we're in. And you better believe it, every Homeland Security manual that's public. They badmouth our founding fathers. They badmouth private property. They badmouth the family. They badmouth everything that can stand against their total criminal takeover. Now, you better wake up out there and realize how much trouble we're in. We are in an emergency situation. And I pray to God above that your eyes be open like Saul of Tarsus on the road to Damascus, that all you arrogant, self-serving, worldly people be knocked off your horse to the ground and struck with the truth to awaken and be given a fire in your belly, a fire in your bones to resist tyranny wherever you find it. Here's the good news, though. As things get worse and worse, everybody's going to remember what we said, and everybody's going to see it all come to pass, and then the Great Awakening's going to happen.
InfoWarsStore.com, a conscious and involved distributor of independently made products that support a healthy and aware community. Dive into cleaner waters with your own ProPure system and Pro 1D filter. Save 10% with the promo code WATER. We've handpicked a veritable treasure trove of the best non-GMO seed banks on the market. And our selection of films showcases a wealth of knowledge outdone only by our books. Check for combo packs to multiply your savings. Wear your colors proudly with one of these conversation starters. Now available in pink. Get prepared and fund the revolution at InfoWarsStore.com.
We are back live. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's time to go insane and love Obama. It's time to love big government and realize everything comes from it. If you've got a business, you didn't build it. If birds are singing, it's because of government. If the sky is blue and the planets spin through the heavens, it is because of Nancy Pelosi. Don't you realize that? And anyone that stands against it is a dangerous piece of filth, just like Lois Lerner said, who took the Fifth Amendment and then went on to say she hadn't spied on anybody and hadn't persecuted anybody. And now all her orders from Obama are public, and she's not going to prison because the Justice Department is captured and held by a mob don, a man that gives public speeches about brainwashing the public. Because he's Eric Holder. He knows best. He's going to teach you. And everyone falls to their knees in fear and bows to him because that's the American way. Oh, yes, whatever you say, Master, whatever you want, we give in to you. Our souls are timid. We bow to the biggest pile of garbage we can find. We instinctively believe that when we give in to tyranny, we're empowered, even though history and all common sense shows that's the worst, most horrible course, and that cowards should fight tyranny if they had any idea, but they don't even have the stomach to be men, and so what they fear will be visited upon them. So close your eyes, look deep inside, go insane, ladies and gentlemen, and submit to the New World Order. They love you. They're there to help you. Drink extra fluoride water, take all the shots, eat all the GMOs, eat all the Lucky Charms, and support the drug war publicly run by the drug dealers themselves. Oh, it's not enough to ship the drugs in. They want to then catch you with what they sold to you and put you in one of their private prisons owned by banks that publicly bring in the drugs. I mean, it's so elementary. It's for our safety. And then there's all the crime involved with drugs. So they've got to expand all the paramilitary forces to counter that, when in truth they're just corralling the domesticated crime culture they've created. And they have MTV and movies glorify the drug dealers. So all the idiot young people go and become drug dealers to supply the fodder for the system to go out into the streets. As Jim Morrison said, the streets are fields that never die. Oh, they're just harvesting your children, harvesting your money, your house being robbed. And they want to take the guns from all the cities like Chicago, New York, and D.C. and L.A. so that the criminals can rob your house every week to harvest. They want to harvest your property, harvest your daughters, harvest your sons, harvest everything. They can't harvest you because you're armed. And they so badly want to harvest you because it's the journey of harvesting. This Grim Reaper government we have, harvesting your innocence with the television trying to corrupt your children, harvesting your mind, harvesting your health, harvesting you, just like they harvest your organs when you go into the hospital with no problem, and they just strap you down and take what you got because some rich guy wants them that day and needs them. Oh, yeah, they don't just kill people that can be revived. They kill people all the time. Because why not? You don't know how evil they are. You're blind to them. They rule you. But if you just open your eyes, ladies and gentlemen, and see the enemy, then you'd understand why I'm so freaked out. Because every day I got to sit there looking at them, knowing who they are, knowing what they stand for, knowing all their tricks, knowing all their games, and watching you just lay down to these wolves so they can tear your guts out while you're still alive. That's how a wolf likes to eat a sheep. You know they like to eat a sheep? They like to grab them in the back legs a few times, wound them, hurt them, get them down on the ground, bite them up a little bit more, and then they like to eat their guts out while they're alive. Wolves like the blood splattering in their mouth while they eat the offal inside the intestines. And I sit there watching all the children they're giving autism, the children they're maiming, as they just chopping their heads off would be nicer, but instead they want to just tear the guts out of them and suck their parents dry, just like the bullets were designed, the 223, to wound somebody and hurt them really bad so that they would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to take care of and create a moral breakdown in the society. That's the same thing. They just want to wound you, make sure it kills you, but takes a few decades so they can suck all that spiritual pain out. The money's only for their mercenaries low down, but at a satanic level, it's all the sacrificing those children. They don't like just aborting babies and selling their bodies for medical experiments. They like taking your child and wrecking their whole future and paralyzing them and brain damaging them and hurting them. They love it. John P. Holdren revels in his power as he writes books about what he does to your family. He loves, imagine, psychopathic, diabolical scum directly out of the crack of hell, directly out of the ninth circle, just ruling over everything right now, just savagely tearing everything to bits, and you're begging for it. You're begging and submitting. You're kneeling with pleasure so your body can be savaged, your mind can be savaged. Ah, man, it makes me angry. Get the enemy off the screen. Thank you. What I do, ladies and gentlemen, is give you the spectacle of what the enemy really is. As best I can, as desperate as I can, I try to show you with my theatrical skills, channeling, turn of phrase, the enemy's mind. And that's who they are. They are ravenous beasts going about howling to see who they may devour. Why does the Bible say the devil is a beast going about howling, roaring to see who he may devour? You know why? Because when you roar, people that are under your spell fall down. They roar and we fall down instead of the animating contest of liberty. What's the exact Bible verse? The devil goes about roaring, seeing who he may devour. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Kill, steal, and destroy. Kill. That's always the #1 mission. Steal, so they can destroy you. The power to tax is the power to destroy. That witch, and let's cue up that clip, Lois Lerner, going, how dare you? I take the 5th, and I didn't do anything. That isn't taking the 5th.
Members of this committee have accused me of providing false information when I responded to questions about the IRS processing of applications for tax exemption. I have not done anything wrong.
That's right. You just went after tens of thousands of groups and individuals and told pro-lifers what they could pray and engage in Soviet-style attacks, and you are a vicious, arrogant sack of maggot filth who thinks you can just perch on us with your giant, scrofulous, tail feathers spread over everyone, perched on us like a mix between Baphomet and Medusa. We see you, and we absolutely know who you are, maggot. You are a maggot of hell. You are an abuser. You are an authoritarian witch. You are a disgrace. You are a perjurer. You are a liar. You are a persecutor of the good. You are a monster. Be alert and sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. I don't think that, is that a King James? That's the New International. Do the King James. It's seeing who he may devour. Because if Jason busts in your door, you're taught to fall down and grovel and then crawl backwards on your hands and your legs going, instead of going, wow, somebody with a knife. I get to fight for my life. I get to really be alive. I get to defend myself. I get to take down evil. They don't try to pick up a chair and smash it across Jason's head. They don't try to fight back. They just fall down in the woods and kick and crawl, begging, please, don't hurt me. I'm so scared of Saudi Arabian intelligence. I'm so scared of the CIA. I'm so scared of the pot-bellied pedophile TSA. I'm so scared of King George III. I'm so scared of Santa Ana. I'm not scared of any of you. You can all go right back where you came from, and we all know where that is, filth. You are stacks of garbage who cannot produce anything, do not love beauty or honor or goodness or God. You just go around trying to wreck everything. You're ugly. Nobody likes you. Nobody wants to be around you. That's why you're on these big taxpayer-paid jets and red carpets and media worshiping you all day, because you're hollow, nothing, scumbag, narcissist, and you know your failures. From the moment you got consciousness and were animated by the spirit you follow, you know your failures, and that's why you hate goodness, because you know what scum, pathetic, cowardly, disgusting, maggot-infested spiritual trash you are. Excuse me. I start getting really mad, folks, when I think about all these Obama bureaucrats already going to people's doors under FEMA Corps, the rest of it. The power trips they're on. Super weak, pathetic nobodies arrogantly getting off on their plastic badges and ordering you to fill out their census that's totally illegal on record, and just all of it. And now armies of them, door-to-door identity theft, likely under Obamacare. Under the Obamacare, the Department of Health and Human Services, the people that did all the secret testing, killing people, is implementing a navigator program which provides millions of dollars. These are the same folks that make sure every county and city puts fluoride in the water, to nonprofit groups nationwide to hire navigators like Acorn, who will advise Americans on their Obamacare health options based on sensitive information provided. Yeah, that's right. They're also going to already have your info. I forgot that part. I mean, what's wrong with Acorn having your... Yeah, I'm here with my underage whore and a runner. I want to run some kids in the third world for sex slavery. Oh, yes, sir. We're going to come on in. You're with us. I mean, that's who these... I mean, I'm telling you, folks, they know it's their time now. It's their country. Let's continue. This sensitive information includes Social Security numbers, income levels, and they threaten you and go, it's the law. It's the law. They were priming you with the census. Income levels, employment history, and home addresses, all of which are more than enough to steal Americans' identities for complete access to their credit and financial resources. And then out of the crisis that causes, they'll come out with biometrics, and the final biometric's going to be a brainwave. Toyota's already coming out with that in their cars next year, a brainwave that oh, we know it's you, Alex Jones. Vehicle activated. And people are like, I've got the new voice activation, baby. Look at how cool I am. Oh, my gosh, Donnie, you're so cool. They always make being a slave the newest style, and everybody wants it. In a September 20th letter to DHS, the U.S. House Committee on Energy and Commerce asked the department to respond to its concerns. No media has picked this up, and this is 4 days old. We're breaking it. over the rushed implementation of its Navigator program, including plans by nonprofit groups to run pimp game, to engage in enrollment activities that increase the likelihood of fraud or abuse. In fact, the headline ought to be, House warns, bombshell, House warns of identity theft under Obamacare. Acorns-type groups to be given your personal data. Red alert, red alert, and they're coming. Boy, you gotta love it. But you know, everything's okay. The article's up on Infowars.com. We're going to send it out on Twitter. Real Alex Jones, please retweet it out to everyone you know. I don't know why the writers, their top stories, they've not been tweeting those out. I noticed I had to tweet Don Salazar's article out about how California's trying to ban all hunting right now, just like Europe and even some South American countries have done. And, of course, you know who's lobbying for it, the big factory farms. They want you domesticated, not just the chickens they've got in their little concentration camps. Side issue, folks. Everything's okay, though, because the White House dossier is reporting that Bill Clinton is going to go out and he's going to sell Obamacare to everybody. He'll take care of it. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Obamacare is a free thing for you because we love you. I don't work for big offshore money launderers and drug dealers and groups openly that run white slavery rings or anything, even though I do on record. And I didn't steal almost all the money from the charities I run on record. I need a wide-body jet and red carpets and hookers delight. Thanks for paying for all that, you filth. No, I really care about you. I'm the first black president. I mean, come on, folks. But people are like, I like the twinkly-eyed little guy with the frosty hair, like a demonic, I don't know what he's, a demonic Easter bunny with his ears cut off or something. I mean, an evil Santa Claus with his beard cut off. He's going to bring you treats, kids. I don't even know what to say anymore at this point. I'm coming for you, everybody. Listen, the Republicans are going to lie to you about this, and all of it. You're going to love this deal. I remember they told you nobody's going to part-time under this. Tens of millions are being put to part-time. Poor people don't have money taken out of their payroll tax. Payroll taxes on anybody working, annihilating everybody. Economy's shutting down. They're like, it's all right. Come to us. We got welfare for you. By the way, have you noticed a bunch of states are announcing under federal auspices they're going to start forced labor for people that get welfare? You understand that. That's the plan. Bankrupt everything, and then all of us work for the government or private companies that have a government contract, and so we go out and work for them. Even if we have a job, national compulsory service, compulsory volunteerism. Of course, that's Orwellian. Volunteering means you volunteer, but the new compulsory volunteerism that the White House Chief of Staff, Rahm Emanuel, now the Chicago boss, said, you will do this. They've got to bankrupt America, and your kid will come home, it's already happening, in the red top and black pants, and threaten to report on you. That's actually in the news. I predicted this years ago. Now, don't talk bad to Billy. He's part of Homeland now. That's right. That's right. And so you got to put up with all these snot-nosed kids. I mean, that's when you know your country's in real trouble. My wife went out to a marathon in Waco a few weeks ago. She even got photos and sent to my phone. She's got to resend them because my mom was playing on my phone and thought it was her phone and kept putting the code in and wiped it, and I hadn't backed it up in months. But I call my wife and get her to send you guys an email all those photos. She shot some videos, too. They had kids in black tops and combat pants bossing people around and running checkpoints. I mean, we actually have Yugen now. And my wife politely asked about it, and some guy told her, shut up, some adult. You scum Americans, you don't ask questions about Homeland. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to take everything we got. And they want a civil war. They want to come to our houses and murder us and our families. But they're not going to be able to. I had tried everything. I'd cut back the amount of food I was eating. I was lifting weights and jogging, but nothing was working. My body was literally starving for minerals and trace elements as well as key vitamins. And as soon as I had that, I immediately could eat half of what I was eating previously and be satisfied. Now, there are hundreds of great products at InfoWarsTeam.com, but I want to point out the 3 that have helped me lose 37 pounds in just 2 months. products like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Pollen Burst, and Rebound. When I started taking the Tangy Tangerine and other products every day, I lost more than 37 pounds in just 2 months. Now that's results. I want to challenge my listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com and to order just 3 of their products, and you will see the changes in the way you look, feel, and in your appetite almost immediately. Start your journey to health and wellness today. InfoWarsTeam.com. You know, I'm really trying to not go into these crazed rants because I'm working on the Obama Deception 2. The film is behind schedule. The crew's doing a great job, but I just get so drained by nighttime that I can't make all the proper decisions, and got so much video and so many interviews, and the film's really powerful. But I'm going to have to live up here now. I'm going to get this out by December 1st. And I just think about how these criminals are taking over, what they're setting up, how they're trying to bankrupt us. They admit that under Cloward and Piven, sociological plan they're following. And it really makes me mad. So I'm just desperately here, really getting on people and laughing at people, because the New World Order is laughing at you. And I want new listeners, because I found laughing at people seems to get their attention, to realize exactly what's going on. These predators are eyeing you and your family and ripping you off 100 different ways and making you think they're there to help you. And most people that work for the system don't even understand how all this works. It's very, very frustrating. I want to tell you about some of the news that's coming up in the next hour. I kind of went off the rails and only covered one big story. There is a lot of it. I'm going to tell you about that in just a moment. First off, it is essential that we try to take better care of ourselves health-wise. I know for over a decade, all I did was work and quit working out, didn't care about myself, because I was sure they were going to imprison me or set me up or kill me at any time, because I got so many death threats and been physically attacked and stuff. And then one of my friends, Tommy Pilata, he said, you know, they don't need to kill you, man. You're going to kill yourself thinking like that by the way you're living. And it was great advice he gave me. And I said, well, Tommy, I go ride my bike a couple times a week. I go, and he goes, that's not enough. He's right. Since then, I've lost like 40 pounds. It's taken me years. Well, I tell you, it's easy to put it on. It's hard to take it off. But one of the biggest things you can do out there is get the incredible products at InfoWarsHealth.com, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, non-GMO organic certified, right there on the site. You can get it discounted with free shipping when you sign up for auto ship at InfoWarsHealth.com. That's InfoWarsHealth.com. We have the Pollen Burst Plus. It's just an amazing, healthy energy drink. Go look at all the listings. It's got the Alex pack up there that's discounted, and all the purchases make the broadcast possible. InfoWarsHealth.com, or call 888-789-9277 if you want to ask any questions or order online, or sign up as a distributor for $10 and get big discounts. 888-789-9277. It's all available at InfoWarsStore.com as well. You can link through there to InfoWarsHealth.com. You can also, at InfoWarsStore.com, find the ProPure water filtration systems that are the best gravity-fed stainless steel system out there. It's what I and my family use. Promo code WATER gets you 10% off. So you already get the lowest price and support a hardcore organization, 110% dedicated to, well, a collision course with the New World Order. That's what we're dedicated to. I was thinking about it this morning. It's just such a good feeling to have no fear. And just be committed. As long as we defeat the enemy, that is all that I want. Oh, I absolutely love fighting these people. I can see them, and we're going to get our hands around their neck politically. I can feel the will of humanity rising, as it's always done as things get really bad. It's always darkest before the dawn. Please support us. The T-shirts, the books, the films, hundreds of amazing items, incredible prices, and it supports what we're doing. InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. All right, next hour coming up, we're going to have Mr. Bongino, the senior Secret Service agent, who is an expert on hostage situations, to talk about the last few mass shootings we've seen, from the Naval Yard to what's happening over with Al-Qaeda in Kenya. And then up to 3 American teenagers were involved in the mall massacre. Yeah, it's got CIA written all over it. Kenya foreign minister says men age 18 and 19 from Minnesota were among the gunmen. But a British Marine with a handgun that he had off duty there was able to stop 100 people being killed. One-armed good guy. That's all coming up as well. Stay with us.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah. Infowars.com.
My judge, what is the secret of the universe?
Infowars.com.
You just joined us. I'm hopping mad over this and actually went into a conniption earlier. Door-to-door identity theft likely under Obamacare. As with the TSA, a new wave of bureaucrats will abuse their power, this time by stealing your identities. And then I was reading the House committee that warned Obama about this on the 20th in a letter to the Health and Human Services. The U.S. House Committee on Energy and Commerce said they're worried about groups like Acorn that are going to be given the contracts and giving people's Social Security numbers. And by the way, this has been out 4 days and we're breaking it. And I cannot come up with a headline hardcore enough. The corruption is so open, so ridiculous, so off the charts. Do I have to describe to people that now your medical info and your personal info, they're going to have these citizen squads, this national security service just as big and just as strong as our military, to quote Obama, that are Democratic Party goons given government power, just like the Attorney General's gone to the churches and told them that as long as they're anti-gun, pro-abortion, anti-family, do whatever they want, here's government money. Government-run churches, faith-based initiatives that started under Bush. How bad that is to have now these power-tripping people with bureaucratic power coming to your door going, I'm here from the Obama administration and Health and Human Services to make sure you've been enrolled, to make sure you're part of it. You know you've got to be part of it to color of law them. I mean, thank goodness I live in the country behind two fences. But I don't, sometimes the census people climb over. And I could just see it, because I've had this before with some knucklehead threatening me to fill out the whole census. And I'm like, 2 people live here at the time, me and my wife. I didn't have kids yet. 2 people live here. I was in 2000. I said, 2 people live here, and I've already filled it out and told you that. The law you state is only for the top 2 questions. That's for congressional apportionment. The zit-faced moron did nothing against zit-faced people. You know what I mean? The 20-year-old kid did not know what that meant. Started, he goes, you see this? You can be indicted. You can be, I said, you can be indicted for threatening to arrest me. If you go get the feds, have them come get me, get off my property right now, you piece of trash. I wish I would have filmed that, because I tell you. And then I walked outside to see him off, and he was parked in the middle of the street like he was God.
Now you can watch Alex Jones live at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
You can also browse the network, the InfoWars Nightly News,
and over 60 movies and documentaries all together in one place.
You can watch the Alex Jones radio show live as it happened.
So check it out, Infowars.com/show.